The Miami Dolphins just got an unexpected blessing, and it came straight from the Baltimore Ravens. And no, I'm not talking about playoff scenarios or late-season miracles. I'm talking about something that could shape the Dolphins' future, a move that could change their direction once the offseason arrives. Baltimore shocked a lot of people when they handed veteran tight end Mark Andrews a 3-year deal worth just over $39 million. Andrews is 29, he's been a core piece of their offense for years, and he's earned respect around the league. But this move raised eyebrows for one major reason. It wasn't Andrews who many believed would get the long-term commitment. It was Isaiah Likely. Likely, just 25 years old, has been viewed as the rising star in that tight end room. The future. The explosive athlete. The matchup nightmare. The guy many thought Baltimore would build around. And right here, this is where the Dolphins come in. But before we go deeper, make sure you don't miss out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And of course, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, back to business. With Baltimore locking in Andrews at $13 million per year, it's highly unlikely they'll pay big money again to keep Isaiah Likely. That means one thing. He could hit the open market, and the Miami Dolphins, a team desperately needing a dynamic tight end, will absolutely be watching. And let's be honest, anyone who's seen Likely play knows the kid can go. At 6 feet 5 inches, 250 pounds, he's built like a classic tight end, but moves like a wide receiver. Since entering the league in 2022, he's been a red zone threat, a reliable target, and a spark plug whenever his number is called. And that's while sharing a room and snaps with Mark Andrews. Give him a TE1 role. Give him the freedom to be the centerpiece instead of the understudy. He could explode. Every season he's shown flashes, touchdowns, contested catches, big body plays that remind you why he was drafted to begin with. And even though he hasn't hit the end zone yet this year, the talent is obvious. Put that kind of player in Miami's offense. With that speed, that creativity, that space-driven scheme, it could be special. It could be the spark this tight end room has been missing. And that's why Baltimore's decision wasn't just a headline. It was a signal, a door opening, a potential pathway for Miami to land a young, ascending, versatile tight end who could fit perfectly into what this team has been trying to build. When you look around the league, you see it all the time. A young player finally gets the chance to step into a bigger role, whether at wide receiver, running back, or tight end, and suddenly everything clicks. They blossom. They take off. And Isaiah Likely feels like the next guy ready to make that leap. If he hits free agency in March, Miami should absolutely take a long, hard look at him. A 25-year-old tight end with size, speed, and legit receiving talent doesn't come around often. And in this system, a system built on motion, spacing, and creating mismatches, Likely could become something special. Let's talk numbers, because they matter. His next contract won't be cheap, but it also won't touch the top tier of tight end money. Current projections estimate he could land a deal around 4 years, roughly $40 million, about $10 million per year. And honestly, that's more than fair for a player with his upside. Look at the market over the past few years. David Njoku, age 25, 4 years, $54.7 million. Dawson Knox, age 27, 3 years, $29 million. Hunter Henry, age 27, 3 years, $37 million. Juwan Johnson, one of the Saints' key weapons, 3 years, $30.7 million. Compared to those guys, Likely's potential value lines up almost perfectly. He's younger than most were when they got paid, and while he hasn't been a full-time T1 yet, the flashes have been impossible to ignore. And let's be real, the Dolphins need stability at tight end. Since Mike McDaniel arrived, the position has been a revolving door. 2022, Mike Gesicki 2023, Durham Smythe 2024, Jonnu Smith 2025, Darren Waller, and Julian Hill every season. A new patch, a temporary fix, a Band-Aid stretched over a long-term problem. Miami doesn't need the next Travis Kelce or peak Rob Gronkowski. They just need someone young, dynamic, and reliable, someone who can finally grow with this offense instead of being another short-term replacement. Isaiah Likely fits that vision better than anyone who's been through the room in recent years. With his size, his fluid route running, and his ability to win in the red zone, he could become the missing piece Miami has been trying to find for years. And if the Dolphins truly want to take that next step offensively, Investing in a long-term tight end isn't just a want. It's a necessity. Here's the reality the Dolphins are facing. When the 2026 season arrives, the only tight end currently under contract is undrafted rookie Jalen Connors, who unfortunately went down with a preseason injury and hasn't had the chance to prove himself on the field. Everyone else in the room, Darren Waller, Greg Dulcich, Julian Hill, is on the final year of their deals. That means Miami will have to rebuild the tight end group from the ground up. Whether through free agency or the draft, multiple additions are coming. Connors isn't ready to be TE1, and he shouldn't be expected to carry that responsibility alone next season. And that brings us back to Isaiah Likely. Even in a season where he's battled injuries and hasn't put up his usual numbers, Likely has still shown efficiency in key advanced metrics. Among qualifying tight ends, roughly 45 of them, he ranks in the middle to upper tiers in yards per route run, average depth of target, yards after the catch, and passer rating when targeted. Those are not the numbers of a struggling backup. Those are the numbers of a player ready for a bigger role. And he's not the only tight end expected to hit the market. This free agent class is surprisingly deep. Kyle Pitts, the former top 5 pick, entering free agency at just 25. Isaiah Likely, 25, explosive and ascending Cade Otton from Tampa Bay, 26. Chigoziem Okonkwo from Tennessee, 26. Dallas Goedert, a proven weapon. Noah Fant, athletic and versatile. You could argue that tight end might be the most well-rounded and quietly stacked position group in the entire free agent class. And honestly, if Miami signed almost any of these names to be their TE1, fans would have every reason to feel optimistic. Each brings something different: size, speed, route running, red zone ability, and each could thrive in an offense built around timing, spacing, and creativity. Mike McDaniel's system has shown repeatedly that a capable tight end can become a major factor. And with Miami expected to have somewhere around $35 to $45 million in cap space, they'll need to choose wisely. But make no mistake, the opportunity is there. For the first time in years, the Dolphins have a chance to stop patching the position and finally invest in a long-term answer. Miami has several positions to address this offseason: cornerback, safety, edge rusher, even wide receiver depth. But the tight end position can't be pushed aside anymore. It has to be a priority. Signing a young tight end in free agency, someone in that 25 to 26-year-old range, like Isaiah Likely or Chigoziem Okonkwo, would finally give Miami long-term stability. A 3-year deal somewhere in the $28 to $36 million range isn't just realistic, it's smart. It's the kind of move that builds consistency instead of another short-term patch. Because let's be honest, Dolphins fans have seen enough one-year rentals. Enough veterans who arrive with hope but can't stay healthy or productive. Enough band-aids stretched across a position that should be a foundational piece of the offense. Miami needs a tight end they can believe in, someone who grows with this team, someone who's on the field every week, someone who becomes a permanent part of the offensive identity. And if free agency isn't the route they choose, then the draft offers real possibilities. Miami holds 5 picks inside the top 100. If they want a premium tight end, they have the ammo to go get one. In the first round, Kenyon Suddy out of Oregon stands out as a potential superstar. He's projected between picks 11 and 19, right in Miami's range, and his athletic profile screams future TE1. Day 2 also has plenty of intriguing prospects: Max Clare, Ohio State Michael Trigg, Baylor Eli Stowers, Vanderbilt, and rising names like Jake Ingracia, Justin Jolly, and Joe Royer, who could push into the 3rd or 4th round. There are real options everywhere. And history shows exactly how impactful a talented tight end can be in this offense. Jonnu Smith thrived in Miami. Darren Waller, when healthy, immediately made noise, including a 3-touchdown explosion across his first 2 games. This system is designed for a big, athletic target who can win over the middle and dominate in the red zone. Whether Mike McDaniel remains the head coach long-term or a new staff eventually steps in, the truth doesn't change. This roster needs a true tight end of the future. So the Dolphins have 2 clear paths: sign a young free agent like Isaiah Likely, or draft a tight end early and develop him. Either way, the time to invest is now. This offense is ready for that missing piece. All that's left is for Miami to go get him.